Chapter 188. Did you see that final expression, Nathan? After Udir A left, Kishir, who had gulped down all his water in one go, exhaled deeply and broke into a faint laughter. One would typically be happy with two gifts, but I can't figure out his expression. I nearly burst into laughter right in front of him. It's a shame that I couldn't see his face after he accepted them. Nathan refilled the mug once again while observing the Duke's face, which seemed extremely delighted. From what I saw, there was no change in his expression. Really? You didn't see his eyes rolling in worry, wondering what strange thing I might have given him next? When did Udir Ale ever show such a vulnerable expression? As per Nathan's observation, Udir, with a face far too stern for his age, had only stepped back from Kishir's words, consistently expressing an intention to refuse. In response, Nathan maintained silence. Kishir, having downed half of the water Nathan had just poured, exhaled deeply and gently closed his eyes. It's a relief in any case. Distracted by the gift, he left without asking the most sensitive question. To be honest, I thought he would ask up to that point. But well, it's an inevitable question if you think about it a little. He'll be back soon. Kishir did not explicitly state what it was, but Nathan, who had served him for a long time, knew the answer and did not question it. Essentially, the Duke had said he wouldn't mind telling Udir Ale everything, even the deepest and darkest secrets related to the imperial bloodline. Among the nobility, they had speculated all there was to speculate over a long period, but it wasn't the same for commoners. The word truth was as dangerous as it was sweet. Are you really sure it's okay? Nathan asked almost unconsciously. Kishir responded without opening his eyes. Do you think he'll betray me when he hears the truth, Nathan? No, that's why it seemed even more dangerous. Considering Kishir Laor's upbringing, he was an incredibly relaxed person, filled with the composure of a strong man, yet he was ungenerous to everyone. Udir Ale was the first one to gain his trust in such a short time, and also demonstrated an ability and loyalty worthy of that trust. So, Nathan made a conscious effort to remember that the cavalry had not even been formed for a year yet. If he didn't, he feared he might get too familiar with him too quickly. Even that balance was shaken in confusion when he saw the inexplicable face last night. Who had said, "You can keep doubting me," quite willingly? Nathan, as the days go by, I become more certain that I must make him entirely mine. Facing Nathan, who was recalling the memories from the last night, Kishir spoke quietly. It might be the first time since I taught you the sword that I have wanted to keep someone this close to me. There was indeed value in Udir Ale's abilities. Every time Nathan recalled the precise judgment and immense power that Udir displayed in the violently shaken space on the brink of explosion, he still got goosebumps. There could be no greater disaster than having such a person as an enemy, especially when he heard that, unlike before, Udir didn't show the spreading of spots even after using such power last night. To gain something, one must first pay its price. The future is trying to forge needs such a unique card. His voice was unhurried, not unlike his usual tone, but Nathan discerned an unfamiliar longing in his lord. It was an uncharacteristic display for him, who typically never revealed deep thoughts, no matter the circumstance. Your aspiration to win hearts is admirable, but you mustn't become overly consumed. You have told me something similar before, Kishir chuckled. Yes, I have. To be frank, I have been feeling a bit of risk lately. I never realized how difficult it was to maintain a proper distance from someone. Maybe this is a preference I never knew I had. Is this not just the after effect of the second gender manifestation of Yudhir Ale? Well, that's highly probable. He did look quite adorable today. Keshir did not deny it. Nathan sighed a little at his lord's playful response. What would His Highness say if he heard you? Do you think His Majesty would pay such attention to my affairs? With a smile, Keshir replied, then tilted his head and opened his eyes. Speaking of His Majesty, has a response arrived since he received it? No, not yet. Ah, it just arrived. As it has been waiting for the conversation to flow in this direction, a small courier bird pecked the window with its beak. Nathan hurriedly opened the window and retrieved a small rolled-up letter from the pouch attached to the bird's leg. Here it is. Let's see. With a small knife, Keshir broke the seal on the letter and read it quickly while lounging. It seems he has received it. He doesn't entirely trust the advice to keep the enclosed power of the red stone as close to his body as possible, but he will likely heed it, thankfully. That's good. Nathan also agreed with Keshir's words. The previous night, following Keshir's command, he separated half of the medium containing the power of the red stone and sent it to the Sun Palace. The power contained within the medium was no longer painful to touch or keep close, unlike when it was freely radiating within the red stone. As a result, it was transported secretly, unnoticed by anyone. Things are looking up. Although I sent it ahead just in case, it's quite something that a mage awakened this morning. I hope this power will also have positive influence on His Majesty. Keshir looked toward the Mansory heater where he'd hidden the basket containing the other half. That said, I'm feeling so languid, I really need to rest all day. Isn't that because your cycle is nearing? It seems a bit too much to attribute it to the cycle. You also used your power suddenly yesterday. That's true, there's that. You even mentioned having a bad dream this morning. Did I say that? I can't remember it well now, but it was truly an unpleasant dream. As Keshir lightly clenched and unclenched his hand, he mumbled. Each time, 4 different colored energies within his hand intertwined, showing themselves and then dispersing with a flickering sound. To anyone watching, it would have been a fascinating display of power. However, the red eyes that were witnessing the spectacle were filled with nothing but discomfort and fatigue. Perhaps the heat period has arrived earlier than anticipated. Pardon? Never mind, I'm heading back now. You should carry on with your duties, Nathan. Keshir, having risen from his seat, moved towards his bedroom. Nathan bowed his head respectfully towards his lord's receding figure and then turned away. Sir Yudhir, you have arrived just in time. Lady Kana has regained consciousness. Upon descending to the first floor medical division, Yudhir immediately quickened his pace at the good news shared by the rushing Lusan. When did she wake up? Not long after the mages left to tidy up the basement, she opened her eyes. She has now consumed a bowl of thin soup, and we have infused her with more divine power. Thank you. Expressing his sincere gratitude, Yudhir quickly spotted Kana sitting up in bed. She seemed lost in deep thought, her eyes vacant as she stayed down. Kana? Yudhir. At the sound of her name, she managed a faint smile and waved her hand. You said I fainted? I was so surprised when I woke up, and because I didn't remember a thing. How are you feeling? I'm fine. A little low on energy, but I feel refreshed, like after a good night's sleep. Her honesty was truly a relief. Yudhir let out a soft sigh as he took a seat beside her. I suppose my sudden fainting must have surprised everyone. What did the commander say? Was he very disappointed? There is no reason for him to be. Kana finally smiled with her usual warmth at his firm reply. Yes, you are right. I knew that, but I couldn't help worrying. Do you remember what happened when you used your ability before fainting? Yudhir asked the most important question. Kana's smile faded and she lowered her head slightly. No, I don't remember clearly, other than the feeling of being bounced off something as soon as I used it. As expected, even though she used her ability, she couldn't recall any retrieved information. But the phrase bounced off was a bit unusual, prompting Yudhir to ask about it again. Being bounced off, you said? Yeah, how should I put it? It was like trying to see a gigantic mountain inside a small stone, and that was something. No, it was like trying to see something not permitted to a human. I don't understand. Yudhir shook his head. He honestly had no idea what she meant. Kana gave a small laugh. To be honest, I don't understand either. Even while I'm saying it, it was such a strange experience. The first time I have felt something like that. Was it simply because Kana's ability wasn't advanced enough to read the stone? Or was it truly something beyond human comprehension? It was hard to tell, but regardless, Yudhir felt content that she had woken up unharmed. Well, if you are not injured, let's watch for another day before getting back. I will tell the commander. No, I'm fine. What for? I want to go back now.